This is your girl Kalungi coming at you live from Merseyside in the UK, and today I just want to talk about branding. Now, you may be wondering why I am talking about branding and why do I think I know a little bit more than you, and I'm going to share with you why. I'm also going to ask you a few questions because these questions will help you understand why, if you are a home business entrepreneur or you own a small business or you work from home or you're an internet marketer or an online marketer, why you need to brand you. So as you can see, you're looking at the home page of my website, and we teach home business entrepreneurs how to attract targeted leads and build a lucrative business from the ground up. And we have a few info products up our sleeve, and we do have a team of people that are using them and are finding traction in their business. For those of you that don't know me, I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see who's speaking. Today, I'm going to read something for you from a book that I got in Florida. I got this book in Florida when I went for the Till 3 event, and I got it from the author himself, an awesome man called Peter Montoya. I am going to show you the book that I'm going to read from so you can know why I believe you need to brand you. Now, that is the book. It's called The Brand Called You by Peter Montoya. And I am gonna help you understand why we create what we create, why we are all scoping. And if you're on Periscope for pleasure, absolutely, that's great. But I believe most of the people on Periscope are here to learn, to get new ideas, and to find a way to progress your business and build a super organization. Turn this camera around so we can actually chat properly. Right, so today I am having a really cool day at home. I decided to talk about branding. I decided that it's a bit cold outside. I am cool and warm today, and I decided that I was going to talk about branding. And like I said before, I'm going to share something and some excerpts from this book called The Brand Called You. When we started our blogging journey and when we started our online journey, we struggled a whole lot. And if you want to know more about how my journey, if you go to that website julescowpoly.com and you go on the about page, you're going to see exactly what we went through. We moved to the UK from Uganda. And by the way, do you like my new shelf? I told you I was going to declutter it, and it is absolutely gorgeous now. So when we moved to UK, I came from Uganda. I came from a legal background. I was a practicing lawyer in Uganda, and I was having the time of my life in my mid-20s, completely carefree. The life and soul of the party also, I believed, and I was out to build a legacy, I thought, in the legal sector. And then I moved to UK, and for some reason the law does not allow and does not allow other law degrees from other countries unless you literally start from scratch again, which I did. I decided to start from scratch, so I applied to universities and all that kind, and I was ready to pay for my own education. And guess what? I then got told that my degree didn't count at all. I had to do the degree again if I wanted to practice law in UK. And I said no. Why? Because I'd done the law degree, I'd done the diploma in law as well, so I was able to practice in Uganda. I'd done my master's in law. I'd done several qualifications in law. I'd worked for an international legal company in Uganda, and I really, really didn't feel like going back from scratch. So I thought, what do? The thing that I loved the most after law was construction and building. My father was an engineer. I had some of that in me. I really I felt that I could build stuff. So I decided I was going to go and do something in construction. So I did my research, and fortunately, when the student is ready, the teacher comes. By the way, if you're watching from the web, thank you. If you're watching the replay, you're awesome. And if you're new to Periscope, if you enjoy and you're getting value from what I'm saying, you just tap your screen, and that gives all kinds of things will pop up on your screen, especially hats. And if you're watching live, thank you. And again, tap that screen, show me you're here, and let's engage and communicate. So like I said, I decided I decided I wasn't going to do law again, because I'd already done it. I mean, who goes back and does the same course they've done already? I wasn't going to do that. So I went into housing. I did my basic diploma in housing and construction. It was an NBQ. I upgraded to a diploma, and I upgraded it until a point where I thought, I've got to get some work in. I'm not going to be learning all this time. So I joined the industry, and I worked for a good 12 years in the housing and construction industry in the UK. And I felt completely accomplished. I just felt there was something missing. Something was missing in me. While I was doing that, I was also doing night shifts, because in the UK you can do all kinds of things. It doesn't matter, as long as you can get yourself qualified to do these things, you can. So I was doing nursing as well. So I was doing night shifts and I was doing day shifts. I was working in the office over daytime, suited up, booted up, looking the business, and in the evening I'd go off, put on my nurse's uniform, and go work in either a hospital or in an NHS establishment, or in a nursing home somewhere, or in someone's home as an auxiliary nurse. It was back-breaking work. And I appreciate the people that do this job, because I'd done it before, but I would never do that again. I really wouldn't. So all this time I was looking for something, and I was praying to God to show me something, and He did. And I met some wonderful mentors along the way, and I'll mention two, Ray Higdon and Tanya Eliza. And these two introduced me to this man, Peter Montoya. Branding. They introduced me to branding. Branding you've got to brand you. So I've given you a little bit, a very basic overview of my history. I've built a brand that people love. When I blog, my blog doesn't sit there for 24 hours before people visit it and live and read it and show their appreciation of what I share. I'm building a brand that is strong, that is loved, that is wanted. I share what people want to grow their business online and offline. I share the tips, the tricks, the strategies, in the trenches, tips and tricks. I don't give theory. I give what I've tried and tested, and I give you the results of what I've tested, and I tell you how I've got the results and what I do with them. And branding is a journey. Let nobody tell you that branding is something you do today and tomorrow you'll be it. I mean, when you look at the brands that you know, Nike, Adidas, Coca-Cola, I'll mention the brands in the industry that I am in the home business industry, Ray Higdon, Eric Worre, Anthony Robbins, all those brands that you know, the people you want to follow, the Tanya Elizas, the Cesars, the people that know what they're doing. My mentors, you know, they're branding themselves, and one of the ways to brand you is by having a website, your own website. Now, it's not mandatory in any way, shape, or form to have a website when you are branding, when you start your branding journey, but it definitely does help, because someone knows somewhere to look to learn more about you, to learn your vision, to learn your story, to see your dream, to understand where you're coming from and where you are and where you're going. And maybe if that story resonates with them, then they may align with your brand. So I'm just going to open this book. Like I said, I was going to read for you something, and I'm going to ask you some questions, and I need you to go away and think about this. Have you asked yourself these questions? Because when you are starting out, you start out with excitement, with gung-ho, you're ready to go, you want to get it, you really do. And then somehow the obstacles begin to come in the way. So have you asked yourselves these questions? Why am I flush with cash one month and struggling the next? I've been there. I really have. I know what it is. Why do competitors with less ability consistently get more business than I do? And when I say competitors in the home business space, you find somebody who's just joined, has no training under their belt, doesn't seem to know the system, and is not even using the system, and they come and whoosh right past you and rank up and go and start earning residual and flashing all that residual online and showing everybody how they're doing it. And you're like, what's going on? Why am I so dependent on one or two clients? If you are a small business owner, your whole business may be dependent on one or two clients. And if any one of those cancels their order or does not make an order for some reason or other, you're in deep financial trouble. Are you in that space? When does it get easier? When does it get easier? The answer is in you, and I'll tell you soon. Why do I never seem to reach my income goals? Again, I'll tell you why. How do I balance my personal brand and company brand? You see, if you're in the home business space or internet marketer, you are promoting some kind of product that you don't produce, unless you're somebody I don't know already, and you're an info product creator and you have your own brand and you have your own shop front and you don't promote anybody else's stuff. But if you're in the internet marketing space, then you're definitely promoting someone else's product, services, or platform. I do promote someone else's product and services too. And you have to know there's a definite line between you as a person or brand as a person, because you are the brand. You're the one constant in this equation. And then there is the company brand, the company whose products you promote or services you promote. A lot of people don't know the difference between these two. You find people who you ask, what do you do? And they talk about the company they work for. They have not separated themselves from their company. I'll tell you what. When we joined the internet marketing space 4 years ago now, almost, we were promoting something completely different. Over the last 4 years, we promoted at least, I think, 6 companies. And in those companies, we've had some successes. In, I think, 4 of them, we've had some success. 2 of them we completely bombed. No, 3. 3 we've had success, 3 we completely bombed. And the 3 that we've had success, we are still promoting. The 3 that bombed, 2 of them closed, and 1 we decided it just wasn't worth it. So when I tell you that you're the one constant, I know exactly what I'm talking about. You're the one constant in your business. You're the one person that is the same. The company may come, the service may come, the product may come, and they will go. And they will. The thing is, you will still be there. Question is, will you still be standing, or will you be the person that says, you know what, I've had enough? Will you be the one who goes, I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't sing, hey? So, yeah, will you be the person standing and saying, well, opportunity happens to us all. I know this has not happened the way I want it to. What do I do next? I'm going to give you the answer in the next 3 days or so, because I only scope weekdays. I'm going to share with you tips on branding that are going to help you realize, A, that you need to brand you, B, you need to do it systematically, and C, that it's a journey that you must enjoy to see the fruits tomorrow. When Coca-Cola started, when Adidas started, when Nike started, when all those wonderful brands that we like to align ourselves with started, they were like you and me. They were an idea in someone's mind, and that person was worried whether this brand was ever going to take off. They were wondering whether things would kick off, but they did, and they did it anyway. And now we like to align ourselves with their brand and say, I love this. I love Calvin Klein. I love Apple. I love Samsung. They created a brand that you love. Are you going to create a brand that people love and resonate and align with? Yes, you can. And I am. Are you? I have created a brand, and I'm creating a brand. I podcast on iTunes and on SoundCloud. And my hashtag is Your Power Echoes. And I encourage you to use that hashtag, because your power, your inner power, the spirit within you does echo out. And what your spirit is allowed to think and focus on is what manifests in your life. So your power actually echoes. So you can use the hashtag Your Power Echoes or YPE. So The question is, you must be wondering, what is branding anyway? Now, I'll tell you the thing. People don't care about your business. They don't care about you. They do care about how you make them feel. I'll say that again. People don't care about you. They don't care about your business. They don't care about your product. They don't care about your platform. They don't care about your service. They care about what it is you're sharing with them makes them feel, how it makes them feel. And this has been said, and I'm sure you've heard it before. People won't care what you do to them. They'll care about how you made them feel. They'll remember that for years. I remember things that happened to me when I was a baby, and there are certain things that I don't even remember when they've happened to me maybe 3-4 years ago, because they didn't make me feel anything. It was like they didn't even exist. So your brand must speak to somebody and make them feel something. It does not matter what you make them feel. I'll tell you now, because like they say in the media, any news is good news. So any exposure is good exposure. In the same way, your brand has to make somebody feel something, either bad or good. And when you make someone feel bad in a good way, and I know you must be wondering what I'm talking about, they will go away thinking, what do I do to get what it is they are telling me to do? If you make someone worry about their weight and their size for the next 3-4 months, they are going to come back to you and wonder how they can change their life. So you made them feel bad about what they look like, how they look, how they their lifestyle, their eating habits. You made them feel bad. And that feeling has got them worrying about their health, and they come back to you for the solution. So how you make people feel matters. On the other hand, if I paint a picture for you of all the wonderful places I've been, the wonderful memories I've created, the wonderful people I have met on my journeys, the hotels, the resorts, the real estate I've stayed in, the way I've been treated, the way it all happens, how I get picked up from the airport in a limousine, and that it's not just me, it's a community of world travelers worldwide. It's a public secret what I'm talking about. You will want to know, how does she do that? How does she travel the world like a rock star? I want to be part of it. I've made you want what I have, not in a bad way, in a good way. So the way you create a feeling in somebody, that feeling will push them to come back to you and talk about the next step. And if you do it consistently, persistently, and you set a system that is recognizable, that people can relate directly back to you when they follow it and get what it is you are promoting, you will have branded you. Now I've gone on a round way to show you and tell you what branding is. Literally, you know what a brand is. So, personal branding. Always assume that the world is utterly indifferent to your business, no matter how good you are. Your task is to grab customers by the hand and make them care. This is something Peter Montoya says, and I'm quoting, always assume that the world is utterly indifferent to your business, no matter how good you are. Your task is to grab customers or potential customers by the hand and make them care. And I've just explained to you and given you some two typical examples of how you can make somebody care about what you are sharing with them, about your message, about your vision, about your product, platform, service, and make them come back to you. Don't tell people about how this product has XYZ enzymes and it has. I don't care about the enzymes. I don't even know them. All I want to know is, how does it make me feel? How will it change my lifestyle? How will it change my health? How will it affect my health? How will it help me? How will it make me feel once I have used it? How will it make me feel? Feelings bring people to your brand. So branding is a wonderful, wonderful subject for the entrepreneur, the home business entrepreneur, the internet online marketer, the small business owner. If you own a small business, then you want to build a brand. It does not matter how small the business is. It can become the big global business you've never even imagined. By the way, if you haven't imagined it, the chances of it even manifesting are very low. You have to have imagined how big your little shop or your little business is going to grow. You have to imagine how massive, and see yourself going to different parts of the world to showcase your brand that you started in your own back garden or garage or in your spare room. You have to see that vision. If you do not see that vision, chances are no one else is going to see it, because you've got to see it in your mind, to dream it, perceive it before it can manifest in your experience in the flesh. So I'm going to stop there with branding. I just wanted you to know the questions you need to ask yourself, and the questions that you must be asking yourself right now, because we've just gone past the halfway point of January 2016, and I know you're asking yourself these questions and you're wondering where you want to go, but you don't know what to do. And many of us are too proud to think that to reach out for help. I see very many scopers scoping every day, scoping what somebody else has scoped, scoping about what, and at the end of the day, what do you want from Periscope? What do you want from branding? What do you want from your blog? You have to know. If you do not know where you're going, you don't know where you're going. If I walked out of the house and I didn't know where I was going, I'd go, hang on a minute, why am I going out? So if you don't know where you're going, you need to stop, take stock, and understand where you want to go. Understand what you are going to represent. What is your product representing? How does it affect the people that you are targeting? Who are you targeting? Because your brand has to have a target. When you start your branding journey, you have to definitely know who you're targeting, who they are, where do they live, what do they do, what do they eat, what are their pains, what are their troubles, what are their thoughts, all those good things. If you don't think, if you don't plan, then your branding journey has started on the wrong way. Tomorrow we will continue the branding journey, and I'll give you some more wisdom from Peter Montoya, and I'm going to give you some meat and potatoes of what you need to do to brand you and move on from A at least and get to E, because you don't want to be at A all the time. You want to get to Z. It is a journey, so you need to move some steps. So tomorrow we will get you, we've moved you from A to D. So tomorrow we will move from D maybe to G, because there's a whole lot of meat in this book, and I want to share with you the important bits. So thank you for listening to me. Subscribe to our podcast on Your Power Echoes with Jules Carl on iTunes and SoundCloud. You just type that into Google, it will bring you to where it is, or just go to julescarlpoly.com/SC, S for sugar, C for cat, and follow me on Periscope. My handle is sil_Jule Kalungi. I am a coach, a speaker, and a home business entrepreneur, and I love to share what's working now to help you grow and build a super solid business from the ground up, so you can rise and shine to your awesome, glorious destiny, because you do deserve it. Live, learn,